We are so lucky being in India, the amount of grains that we sit on. People from outside India come and visit us, they are like taken aback with how much diversity we have in terms of grains. Hi, I'm Prachi Pandit. I'm a scientist in the field of nutrition research. I'm a co-founder of a company called as Arbuza Regenerate Private Limited. So carbs is one thing which always comes in a controversy, you know. First it was fat. So when you go to supermarket, everything was fat free. Nobody bothered fat nikal diya to what they have put in it. Nobody bothered about it. They were putting fructose corn syrup in that, which is detrimental to your health. It's horrible. I would always say turn the packet. If you can't read what is written there in ingredients, leave it. Carbs is nothing to be blamed. Carbs, they are the primary food for your brain, please. I mean, your brain, your mental activity runs on carb. Your body needs carb in moderation, for sure. You can't just cut carbs. And even if you cut carbs and increase protein, you are still having calories through that. So I don't understand, it's just a gimmick of the industry, I feel. Cutting down sugar completely, not worth it. Cutting down sugar in amounts which you think you can is worth it. Sugar, and I'm not talking about the sugar that you see, I'm talking about the sugar that you don't see. There's a sugar in the chai chammach that you add, your mother add, whatever, that you see. You know that you're adding ek chammach shakkar ke bina I cannot have tea. But then there is a silent hidden sugar in your fat-free food, sugar-free foods, in your snacks which call themselves as made from grains and whatnot, superfoods. But sugar is used as a taste, right? It's an element which gives us satisfaction and satiety. Instead, have the sugar which is visible. Have a laddu, you know that you had one laddu, isme shakkar tha. You had chai, you had 1 spoon of chai, 1 spoon of shakkar in your chai. But be wary of the sugar that you don't see but is still in your plate. The cow and the buffalo milk has much greater nutrition profile. You see the calf which is grown drinking the milk of cow, I mean. But people who really think that no, this is not my cup of tea, I don't want to do that and go for soy milk or oats milk or whatever, one, make sure it's affordable to you. Soy is a very controversial topic. It suits somebody, it doesn't suit. One cannot just depend on soy milk for a large period of time. It might have some contraindications. So you have to switch on your milk, plant-based milks, like you got to switch on those from oats to soy to other whatever milk are available. Making sure they are fortified enough, because they should be fortified with calcium, they should be fortified with proteins and things like that. So you have to be really educated in those terms. If you want to take that lifestyle, by all means take it, but then make sure that you have educated yourself well enough that you are just taking care of every macro and micronutrient in your diet. It's required. The answer is one simple word: no. Indians should not turn to vegan just because you're following Westerners. Now, your reason for veganism can be two. You are following a trend, or you are conscious about the environment. We'll take that conscious about the environment a little later. Let's talk about following a trend. As Indians, we historically come from a place where we almost had famines for decades. Now, we had a very compromised physiology, which is very different from Westerners. So the kind of food we need to have calcium, need to have protein. Being vegan, you're compromising on protein. And that's why we are not able to solve the anemia situation in India. That's why obesity has stuck us so hard. That's why the diabetes really has come to the age of 25. That's why the cardiovascular disorders are rampant, to a 40-year-old dying of heart attack. So we cannot just suddenly change things. It would be very detrimental for the entire population to just become vegan because it's a trend to be vegan, you know. But being a vegan, now talking about people who are environmentally conscious, they want to protect environment, and they say that this is my way of, you know, helping animals, and their debate is absolutely right, and I understand those people. But those people have to be really well educated in terms of how will they carry out a lifestyle which is vegan. Is their milk fortified enough with calcium? Are they having enough protein? Do they have the money to include that much of protein extra above the food that they are eating? Those are the things which are need to be considered even for the people whose aim for becoming vegan is, I want to protect the environment. So veganism itself needs a lot of understanding, and I don't say it is impossible. One can become a vegan if his or her reason is to protect the environment, but you need to be very well educated in that. For two things which I realized in COVID might have decreased the amount of patients going to normal physicians or doctors, which were decreasing. One, though they were eating pizzas and coffees and cakes and cookies, they were made at home. That's very important. You make a French fry at home, you make a pizza at home, it's definitely going to be better than what you have outside. Any even 5-star restaurant, I can say that. And also everybody was cooking, because food is just not about what. It is also about how, it's also about when, it is also time when family comes together. So in a given day, a person should definitely consume curd if you can, because that's probiotic. It's very good for your gut, and we all easily can access it, right? Number two, a spoon of ghee on your food will be ideal. Again, a spoon, not more than that, because a spoon, see, nutrition is all about moderation as well. You have to remember that. So a spoon, like what our nani or dadi never served a khichdi without a spoon of ghee. That is a second. Third thing would be amla or nimbu in every sabji if you can add. That's a great source, so simple, in your backyard, har sabji mandi mein mil raha hai, and then that's a fantastic. Those are the definitely three things. Then it would be state-wise. If I say that in UP, sattu is a great superfood. Although it was called a poor man's journey food, but I think it's a brilliant food. You can make sattu ka paratha, and it's a powerhouse of energy. You're getting so much of proteins. That's another superfood you can have.